Hello, this is David Allen and you are watching Sporting Icons.
So, James Degale versus Chris Eubank Jr. on ITV pay-per-view, or box office if you like, the PBC Al Heyman's UK debut. So click the thumbs up and subscribe to this video. So it was a relatively exciting fight, that's for sure. There's a fair bit of action and a fair bit of hugging as well at times. This was a one-sided victory, in my opinion, for Chris Eubank Jr. I felt that in round number one, you know, that was a bit of a fit-em-out round, but round number two, when James Degale gets dropped, the tide turned. I don't know whether that affected James Degale's confidence or what happened, but either way, he kind of fell to bits for a couple of rounds. He may have won maybe one or two rounds after then, but nothing pretty much from the halfway point onwards. James Degale gets dropped in round number 10. The ropes pretty much save him, and Chris Eubank Jr. goes after him, drops him again. So that's twice that he gets dropped. And round number 11, Chris Eubank Jr. does a WWE wrestling move on him and pretty much body slams him to the canvas and gets a point deducted. But that didn't really matter. And to be honest, I don't blame Chris Eubank Jr. for doing that, because James Degale, I don't quite know what his game plan was. To be honest, now he says that he's in the best shape of his life, mentally, physically. This is James Degale's spiel for the past couple of years. And to be honest with you, the writing has been on the wall. And I've been a big fan of James Degale for a long time. But the writing has been on the wall since pretty much the Porky Medina fight. He tends to block shots with his face. He tries to and put on a show for the fans, and ultimately comes undone. And this fight pretty much went how I thought it would go, in the sense of a Chris Eubank Jr. win. That's how I thought it would go, and I thought that he would win on points. I didn't really predict him to drop James Degale a couple of times, and I didn't expect it to be a wide points margin the way that I scored it. I know a couple of judges had it a bit closer than maybe what it should have been, but in my opinion, I feel that James Degale lost this one handsomely. He really did. Now, if you look at some potential improvements since Chris Eubank Jr. has got his new trainer, this is only his first fight, so he can't draw too much in that sense, but you could certainly see some kind of adjustments, a little bit more maturity in this fight. He would use his jab a hell of a lot more, and patience as well, timing. He was looking to counter, but one of the things that I felt would have been key in this fight for him, he didn't use. Chris Eubank Jr. is known as a bit of an uppercut specialist, and that's something he didn't really use in this fight. And it's probably the one punch that maybe he should have used in this fight, because James Degale kept coming in to hug him. I think that James Degale, as I said, didn't really know what it was that he was doing. And every time they got close, James Degale would give him a hug. He would go in with a head. Chris Eubank Jr. would also go in the head at times as well. But at times, the uppercut is exactly what should have happened with Chris Eubank Jr. The uppercut was there, and he just didn't utilise it at all. I don't know whether or not he planned on a points win, but this goes to show that Chris Eubank Jr., his work ethic over all else is what gets him through fights. And he's a very, very good fighter. Is he elite level? Time will tell. Of course, he's had 2 defeats, and a lot of people write him off. But look at who it is that he's lost to. Joe Saunders, George Groves. So we'll really have to wait and see. Now, he is, again, the IBO super middleweight champion. Fully expect to see him out and about in the clubs, holding that thing again, like he's cradling a newborn baby. But what happens with James Degale now? For me, retirement is the only thing he can do. He's not an elite level fighter anymore. He's world class to a point, but potentially more realistically, British to European level now. And as I said, the writing's been on the wall since the Porky Medina fight, and he's certainly become undone in a Caleb Truex fight as well. Listen, he got revenge on that one, of course he did, but I do feel that he's just at the end of his road now. And because he's done everything that he could possibly do in boxing, Olympian, British, Commonwealth, European, world, twice, what really is there else to do? If you've got enough money in the bank, why put yourself through all those training camps and all that kind of thing? Because he's shown that he's not good enough now and it would be a shame to see him fighting for a British title again. That's my honest opinion of it. He's a nice lad. He's done great for British boxing. For me, I think maybe it's time for him to hang up. That's my honest opinion. If he didn't, listen, then he doesn't. For me, I'm not going to be flying the flag saying, James Degale, get out of boxing, because it does seem that too many people want fighters to get out of boxing, maybe before their time, but I do feel James Degale has pretty much reached the end of his road. He's on that slippery slope, that is for sure. But Chris Eubank Jr. is a different kettle of fish. I think that he can go on and he can achieve something, whether it be super middleweight. He did talk about going down to middleweight again. Who knows? There's some pretty decent fights for him, but if I was him, I would probably concentrate on, it's disrespectful to say, I know, but the James Degale kind of level for another fight or two, get used to the new trainer, implement some of the tactics, all that kind of thing, and then maybe move on from there. But we'll have to wait and see. For me, Chris Eubank Jr. won this one by quite some distance. He really did. I mean, that's my opinion, of course. Probably the highlight reel was the body slam, but anyway. You drop your thoughts below about the fight, click the thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.